The Lagos State House of Assembly met with the leaders of Makoko and adjoining waterfront communities affected by recent demolition exercises. The meeting follows a petition submitted by the community protesting the demolition of structures and the eviction of residents from the waterfront settlements. The engagement comes amid growing unrest and hardship in the affected areas as residents struggle with the aftermath of the demolitions carried out in recent months. News Central's Israel Eferobor was at the Lagos State House of Assembly, and he now joins us for an update inside of the studio. Israel, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. A few days after the police fired tear gas canisters at protesters outside the Assembly complex, members of the Assembly met with representatives of areas affected by demolitions. What did you gather on your, the case that you covered?
Absolutely, Zeno. So the meeting ended just about 2 hours ago at the premises of the Lagos State House of Assembly, and they owe it to the people to actually call this meeting. But this one was particularly for Makoko community and that waterfront area. So those that were affected in that area, talking about Makoko, they were the ones that were really attended to today at this Lagos State House of Assembly. Now, there was a large turnout of leaders of the community. They came, they spoke their mind. The representative of the people of the Lagos State House of Assembly were also on the ground. Let me just quickly see if I can read out some of the names of those that were on the ground from the Lagos State House of Assembly. So we had Honorable Adams. He was on ground. Just hold on a second. I'll get to that list in a moment. Okay. But indeed,
but I have a question.
Yes,
I wanted to know exactly what the demands of the Makoko residents or former Makoko residents were or are, and how close to a resolution they're coming with the authorities.
Okay, so the people were met by 4 of the House leaders, Honorable Adams, Nohim Babatunde, representing the Chelsea one. Who, by the way, was the chairman of this particular committee to look into the issues. How close are they to resolving this issue, and what are the demands of these people, like you rightly asked? Well, the people are asking that all demolitions be stopped for now, and that is one resolution that was met today at the meeting between the leaders of the House of Assembly and the residents of Makoko.
So the demolitions will stop?
The demolitions have stopped.
They have
right
stopped.
Now. Yes.
Would the people be compensated for whatever damage they've suffered?
So this committee that has been set up to look into this particular issue in Makoko, they will go ahead now to investigate, visit the area, carry out an assessment tour of the area, and see what exactly the grievances are. They highlighted the fact that they were told not to have their houses
built beyond a certain boundary.
Beyond a certain boundary, closest to the power line. Those that came to demolish the buildings, they took a large chunk of the area. It was meant to be 50 meters, later 100 meters, and now they said that they have taken over 500 meters, of the areas where their houses used to be.
They demolished farther than the
areas that they were actually told to demolish. Okay. So this is exactly what the issue is.
Israel. So yes. This is also another wahala on its own, because first of all, if these people are looking for compensation, if they are sure that they built their houses way past the allotted area that was given to them, is there proof that so-and-so people had their houses demolished and should be compensated? Now, that's another problem I'm seeing coming up, and I'm wondering how this is going to be resolved.
And that is one issue that they will try to resolve, because according to what they said today at the meeting, they will go ahead. Now, they outlined some of the things that they would do. First of all, they will pay the area a visit, and then they will also try to do some sort of compensation. But compensation cannot even be paid until some sort of enumeration of those that were really affected, because this is where the issue gets knotty. You may now have people who were not even a part of the whole exercise of the demolition.
Claim that they were affected as well.
Claiming that they were affected. So this is where they really have to do due diligence. The leaders of the community were also on ground today. So I want to believe that they will do due diligence to ensure that only those affected, will be compensated. But the issue is not even about compensation right now. The House have advised that they will visit the area, carry out their investigation, see just how far this whole demolition has gone. But one thing that we know for sure, for Makoko, the demolitions have stopped for now, while the Lagos State House Assembly will go ahead now to investigate what exactly happened.
I will jump on the last thing you said.
Yes.
The demolitions have stopped for now.
Yes.
We've seen this. We saw this last year. We saw this the year before. We saw this the year before that. Makoko is always a victim of demolitions by the authorities, whether they've given them allotted space or not. So is there any long-term resolution to the demolitions? Are they saying that Makoko residents can stay not beyond so-and-so points? Would there be no future demolitions if they adhere to that allotment that they were given?
So let me say something that I also find out today.
Okay.
The special advisor to the governor on ESG was on ground today to take some questions. I'll try and see if we can get him much later. He did say that Makoko is not being redeveloped. He did say that the people that live there are not being chased away, that they are also looking for funding right now with international donors to ensure that that waterfront community is developed and not wiped out. Okay. That they're not trying to take out the people. But then again, that's where communication comes in. Did they inform these people what the plans were before all of these things happened? Because it is that community. The special advisor today on ESG to the state governor, Sanwo-Olu, did say that Makoko community, both on land and on water, it is a part of the heritage of Lagos, that they would try to redevelop the place to ensure that that water community, which is a floating community, is not eradicated. He also went ahead now to douse the tension and supposed news flying around that they're trying to do some sort of remodeling of the place for the elites, to have some houses that will be on water.
On that note, on that point you just raised, there are speculations, there are certain developments happening just between Makoko and the Third Mainland Bridge. You can see it when you're over the bridge. There are patches of land that are being sand-filled. What did he say those developments were? So
for what you see on the Third Mainland Bridge on the water as well, the Minister of Works has raised concerns about that, because that alone can affect the structural integrity of the Third Mainland Bridge. They have also, escalated this to the presidency, who says nothing like that should happen in that area. So for what you see there, I think in the next few months we'll see some sort of resolution when it comes to that. Will we have houses being built on that area? I do not think so. But there will be some sort, this is what I know, there will be some sort of redevelopment of the Makoko community into something really, really good. Because if you look at Makoko community in itself, the area is unhygienic. The way the people live there is
there
not
are concerns.
There are concerns. So I'm looking forward to a situation where in the next few months we will see proper development come to Makoko community. Let's see what the Lagos Assembly will come up with, and let us see what the state government will do concerning how they want to move ahead now, so that one, the people of that area are not totally wiped out, their heritage, because they did say that this is also part of the heritage of Lagos. When you go to some places like Italy, there are places just like Makoko, a water community. Why can't we have the same here in Lagos?
Absolutely. Eferobor, thank you very much. A virtual fist bump to you for the coverage of the Makoko instance. Thank you very much.